Hey, we got Gabriel. We got Hydrophonic. Good to see you guys. We got three people in. Uh, Hydrophonic says, "Are you able to see chat, Shirley?"
No, I don't think so. How do I do that? Oh,
Oh,
wait, I see the high chat, show chat. Oh, it's not doing anything. Oh, there it goes, I think. No. Oh, there, okay, now I can.
you can see chat. 'Cause
There's nothing up, but yeah.
I can also do stuff like this and bring it up so you can see it. But for some reason, Hydrophonic says, "Good luck."
Oh, thank you.
Well, everybody, I think you've seen her name. If you haven't, she's kind of everywhere a little bit. I met you in Dan's live, and then you kind of migrated over to mine a little bit. But this stream here is all about. I put a community post out a little bit back asking a bunch of questions, and this one we're going to touch on Shirley's answer to, do you feel you're a good fish keeper? And she did reply to that. We're going to discuss her reply and at the same time get to know Shirley a little bit more. If you don't know Shirley and you're not familiar with her, please subscribe to her channel. She's about the low budget aquariums, right?
Mhm.
Doing stuff on a budget. So she has some cool stuff out there. I watched her stuff. So far we've got, we got Gabriel in first, Hydrophonic second, and then Tommy's in, Silver Creek Wildlife. Good to see you, buddy. Jim's Fish, hello to you. Tommy says hi, Shirley. AV sounds good. Thank you, buddy. There's Razin. Razin is probably going to be the next guy I bring up. We just have to work scheduling out. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to do my Saturday live stream because I got too much going on this weekend. But me and him he's next after you because he replied to some of them posts.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw a bunch of different comments, and they were all interesting comments.
They were. It was really cool. And Rosie's in. Hello, Rosie. Now, if you didn't know, when I do my live streams, I stream multiple to 3 different platforms. I would do more, but you have to pay for that if you want that. Right now, we're streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Sometimes I change it from Twitch to Twitter. So you're everywhere.
That's intimidating.
Yeah, we got 13 people in at this moment. I do want to interrupt, and I do want to throw out my I created a member shout out video, and I have to do it because I have to honor these guys because they pay me monthly and they go above and beyond. So I want to throw that out real quick. It's about 45 seconds. Check out the channel members, and then when we get back, we're gonna dive right into Shirley and get to know her. And shout out to the channel members, my first channel members. Appreciate you. All right, let's see here. Who's Bricks? Is that your boy?
I don't know.
Somebody knows your RAR thing.
Yeah, I see that. And roar, everybody.
That is Shirley's slogan, RAR. Bricks, if you want to be a member, it's very simple. Get on my YouTube channel, and there should be a join button. If you have Android, you'll see a join button. If you're on iOS, you're going to have to go to the link I added in my, you'll see like it says 9 more links in white. Tap that, and it'll be on there for iOS members. I don't know why, if you have Apple, you can't see the join button. It's stupid. Mm-hmm. Hey, lady, good to see you. The Corys are doing amazing in their new home, Shirley. I just love them to pieces.
Yeah, she bought some of my Corys, and we had a little bit of a tragedy from the post office, but most of them arrived safe and happy.
What happened? Let me ask you, what do you mean by tragedy? What happened?
Well, they were supposed to be there between 1 and 3 days. They live about, I think less than 2 hours from me, but neither one of us could make the trip. So they paid me for postage, and I shipped them. They were supposed to be there within 1 and 3 days, and they were there. It took 7 days for them to get there, and when the box arrived, it was smashed, and one of the bags was broken open. So 2 of the Corys didn't make it, but the other 5 are doing well. So I'm very glad about that, because when you hatch something and raise it, it's kind of little babies. So
Oh, that's terrible. And it's kind of, that sucks that happened. It kind of goes hand in hand with that video I put out. Nano Aquarium guy sent me 20 blue shrimp. They got stuck longer and stuck in transit. They were in that dang thing for like 5 to 6 days. Luckily, they were all alive. But
yeah, that happens more often than you would think.
yeah. Hey, Aquariums and me, good to see you, buddy. Gabriel Shamu just became a member. Awesome. Appreciate you, 240. I'm going to get you on that video. I got to figure out an easier way to do this, because I like making a video like that, but every time if someone joins, not that I'm complaining, it's a good problem to have, right? But every time someone becomes a member, I'm going to have to pull that video off, edit it, put it back on, but I'll get it going. But not, like I said, good problem. Thank you, Shamu. Appreciate you, my friend. Gabriel. So let's get to know.
Oh, you got another one. Look at that.
Member. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
I am not sure how to pronounce the first name, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to call you Rollins. So thank you so much. I'll get you on the video as well. Appreciate you. I do have a lot of good things coming to the channel for some nice gifts. And of course, if you've seen my introduction video when you became a member there, you already know how that's going to roll. Hey, everybody. I finally found the membership joining. Appreciate you, 240. Appreciate you, Roland. Yep. I found him a little while back. He's from New Zealand. He's got a quite cool little situation there. Some nice little tanks and very nice person. Bricks. I remember. Okay. Let's see that. Unless that is Roland's. Maybe the same person. Appreciate you, Bricks. Elfish, good to see you. Well, let's get to know Shirley. She's over here. This is all about Shirley tonight. So, a while back, I put a post on. I have this over here because I got my iPad over here because I wanted to make sure. Why do I have no internet? There it is. I wanted to make sure I got your comment correct. And that was, well, I just took a picture of it. Let's do it that way. So the post was, do you feel you're a good fish keeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're right, what you said earlier. I had lots of comments on here, but yours was the longest.
Oh, I tend to go on a little bit.
That's okay. I like that. And your reply was, do you mind if I read it?
Go for it.
I would consider myself a very good fish keeper, not because I'm an expert or always know what to do, etc. I'm even having a string of bad luck and such right now. However, I feel I'm a very good fish keeper because although I still got a lot to learn and sometimes mess up pretty badly, I take the time to do research. I learn to grow, and I really put time in to guarantee that I can do my best for my fish. I got to read more here. Oh, I can't. For my fish, because I screenshotted it. Didn't see. But you get the point. So, and you're exactly right. And I don't care how good you are. You're always going to run into problems and have issues. We're all learning. None of us can ever know everything. Doing this 30, 40 years, something like anything's going to kick you in the butt, right? But you're
right.
So what you're saying is you offset that by doing research and learning and educating yourself. So maybe that doesn't happen again, is what I'm assuming you meant there, right?
Yeah, or if something like an illness pops up again, I'll know how to handle it the next time. For instance, I had a pistillus and septicemia in my tank somehow. I didn't quarantine, and that kind of happened. But by the time I knew what was going on, not only knew what was going on, but how to treat it, I had lost half my fish in that tank, and that tank was very well stocked. So, I mean, I lost like 20 something fish in that tank.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was devastating. And now, like, for some reason it came back. The epistolus came back, and I know what to do with it now. And I caught it early enough that even though they look rough, hopefully we won't lose too many fish from it.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess that's just a prime example in itself right there.
Right.
what you were talking about. Gabriel, thanks for coming a member as well. I appreciate you, buddy. He's also a very good moderator, and I'm waiting for my Pleco to come in the mail. I keep checking it every day. Yes, I'm Jess Rowland. This is my creator account. Okay, very cool. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your support. I always say the bigger the channel gets, the better everything gets for everybody. So I'm moving up, and I am working on some other things right now. I got in the works with a few different companies, so hopefully those come through as well. But back to Shirley. I surprisingly got a decent number of comments on that post, and I really enjoyed what everybody had to say. So how long have you been keeping fish, Shirley?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. And what got you into it?
I have kept fish a few times, but I always ended up with bacterial blooms, didn't know what was going on. I knew nothing about the cycle. I knew nothing about any of that. And so I would clean and never could get rid of it. So I'd get frustrated, get rid of the whole thing. That happened to me 3 different times, could not get past the bacterial bloom stage. And so I would just, get rid of it. Well, this time my neighbor had a tiny 5.5 gallon tank with 7 fish in it, different types of schooling fish that were not the same schooling fish. And he was not cleaning it. He wasn't feeding them. He didn't even hardly pay attention to them at all. And my daughter, she begged me, Mom, please, can we rescue the tank? Can we rescue the tank? I was like, Anita, I don't want any more work. I don't need it. And she begged me to the point I was like, okay, fine, but you're working the money for the tank off. You are paying for everything. I am not dropping a dime for these fish. They will be your responsibility. You will take care of them.
Yeah.
I have several tanks now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I get you. What's amazing is you never gave up. Out of all them times you feel like you failed and you got sick of it, but you still kept bringing them back. So that speaks volumes for your mindset too. I can tell that you have you have a strong head, a hard head.
Thank you.
I
am stubborn.
You're gonna make it happen.
I am. And this time, when I did it the other times, there wasn't really, YouTube wasn't as readily available. Google searches weren't, I'm old. Google searches and stuff weren't readily available to me. So I didn't really have, and I had a young child, so I didn't really have the means to do the research like I do now. I watch hours of YouTube and read articles like every day. There's hardly a time when there's not a fish video playing on my TV.
Yeah.
So, I'm constantly, if it's not one subject, it's another. I'm researching this type of fish or that type of fish or this illness or how to do microworms or, always something. I create playlists of different subjects and then I watch them, all of them.
Yeah. It's easier to learn now with social media and
it is.
That's really cool. I have to show you this. And I like what Shamu said here. There are things I will eventually have to relearn because, like he says, as years go by, when you don't have the issue, you kind of forget things. That goes hand in hand with life. If you're not dealing with something on a daily basis and a lot of time goes by, you can tend to forget that stuff unless you wrote it down somewhere,
Well, things change too. Like the way we treat one disease may be different than how we treat it, 10 years later, 5 years later. We learn new information all the time that changes how we handle situations.
Yeah, and they come out with new technology. They come out with new things that might handle it better too. So it's always going to be a learning process.
Oh yeah, with living creatures, for sure. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I just said with living creatures, there's always change because they're living creatures.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, this is the Shirley Taylor.
Hi.
I've been subscribed to you on my account for years. Oh yeah, that's funny. I did post some videos on the Nextdoor app. Ross, Baltimore, I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, buddy. If you didn't catch the beginning, you are a member of my channel, but now that's because Wizzle gifted 4 of them and you were one of them. But so if you see our name on there, don't be surprised. You didn't pay me money. Wizzle did. Multi-tank syndrome. You got it, Gabriel.
I've got it bad.
And this is funny for you here.
Yeah, fish keeping is addiction is my daughter's fault. Yes, it is, but it's my neighbor when he comes in, he goes, "Oh my God," and to think I did all this, and I'm like, yeah, it's totally your fault. If I hadn't moved next to you, I would, wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. It's funny. It's very easy to get into, go a little nuts with it. I have.
Oh, yeah.
Multi devices, things change quickly. You got it. Shrimps. Oh, sorry. Shrimp sauce.
Maybe it says.
What's he saying there?
Maybe Shrimp says hi, and he just mistyped.
Hi. P-Tag's in. Good to see you, P-Tag. Shrimp says hi.
Yeah.
He's talking about Shrimple. Shrimple said she'd be over once she's done with the live stream she's on.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot, like I said, there was a lot of good other comments on that post, and I think I put about I think I put a post out a day that week, and I loved the activity I was getting from it. But what's nicer about it is when you grow in your channel, and then I can remember when I put a post out and I might get one like. Now when I put posts out, I'm getting comments, likes, and that's what I love, the feedback.
Yeah.
So Hydroponics says, Shirley, I have a similar story. I started in 2006 but phased out after my daughter was born in 2009 and restarted this February.
Oh, my daughter was born in 2009 too.
Ooh, Quinky Dinks. So what's your plans for, so how many tanks did you say you have right now?
Did I have to tell on myself? Well, I did have 19, but I took down 4 or 5 of them the last couple of days because they were mostly like fry tanks and hospital tanks and quarantine tanks. So I've got probably 14, if you include my black worm tank, I've got 14 tanks set up. Don't tell my land.
So what you have plans on setting any more up in the future? What's your plans for your fish room?
My fish house.
I don't want to give any away. I don't want to make you give away any super secret hidden video stuff.
Right. I've got a 125 that's sitting on my porch, and I've been trying to get it up for a while now, but there's things that have been standing in my way. Well, I was informed by my landlord that if I didn't get it off in the porch by Friday, he was taking it. Well, I threw a hissy fit, so he was like, well, you can take it in the house, which means I've got permission to have it. So I'm going to get that set up. I'm hopefully going to get it in and on the stand right there against that back wall. I don't know if you can see. Hold on. See? Oh, don't look at my mess. The stand right there. And I'm going to put it right there against that wall. And I'm going to put my electric blue cars, probably my tetras. I've got 2 or 3 tanks that I'm going to kind of collaborate or converge into one tank.
Yeah.
And that hopefully, if I get my filtration in the next week or 2, I'm going to get that set up pretty soon.
Okay. Do you have a stand for it?
A stand? Yeah, it's a big metal stand. It's that metal thing that I showed you back there.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to see.
I don't know if you follow Price Tag here. I call him P-Tag. He's got a ton of aquariums, and he's kind of like Jim at Happy Place Aquatics. He has like 50 some tanks. I'm running 14 right now myself, and I only have to do my maintenance monthly, and I bust it all out in one day on the weekends when it's due. I only want one more aquarium, and it's gonna be a monster aquarium. Other than that, I don't know how anybody can maintain 30 to 50 aquariums.
Well, I wouldn't be able to maintain all these if it weren't my daughter. I have, some physical issues, and she does the majority of the grunt work on these tanks. And to be honest, I don't know what's going to happen when she grows up and moves out of my house. She's going to have to stay here so that way we can have the tanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does the majority of the work. And it helps a lot. And anytime I say anything about downsizing or not getting any more tanks, she's like, you better not. She gets pretty up in arms about it. She's not ready to let it go, even though it's, takes up a good portion of her time, especially since all these tanks are under a year old. So, they need a little more babysitting than, say, more mature tanks.
Right. So they're still need some time. They're still getting established.
Yeah, they're still babies.
Gabriel was up there before he moved. It happens so easily. I'm at a good place. I don't want to get, like I said, I want one more aquarium. It's going to be a monster tank. And I'm telling you, I want 450 to a 500-gallon tank. I'd love to build one. And I've been
Yeah.
watching Joey build his 16-footer, but there's easier ways.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing, when I get my 125 up, I'm going to have at least 3 tanks, if not more, that are going to be taken down. So, I mean, it's going to lower, I'm still going to have the same amount of fish, but it's going to lower the amount of work because I won't have as many tanks.
Yeah.
If I don't reset my 55 gallons back up.
Right.
So I've got 2 of them side by side, and they look pretty cool until my curse tank decided to do the things it's been doing.
Yeah.
So,
and everybody, if you're not in my Discord, I know a lot of people in here are, but if you're not in my Discord, the link's in my channel too. You want to bring that over because you'd have the inside track on Shirley because she's in there. You'd know some of this stuff. We share a lot of stories over there, have a lot of fun. Shamu's in there, Gabriel's in there, P-Tag's in there. I think Hydroponics in there, maybe.
I think so, because I think that's where I met them.
Yeah. I don't know if Ross has made it over there yet, but yeah, very cool things. Discord, super fun. Some people like Dan, if you want to be in his Discord, you have to pay for that. And that's fine. A lot of people do that. Social media link, and I get it. Mine's free. I want to be able to have everybody come over and not have to pay for that because I really get to know everybody. And you can that's the best thing. You can really get to know everybody and learn about them and see their house, see their
it's good experience.
You know? And so when I see them on here, I know who they are as opposed to what was that name? You know, I want to get more personable with my members, my supporters.
Right. I understand that. Like I feel the same way. I don't think it's easier to put a face to a name to a face once you've had conversations and known them a little bit.
Yeah. So, plus, they're in there sharing pictures of their dogs, their cats, their house. Maybe they're having a fire at night. It's really enjoyable. Shrimple, I like me and Herbie chatting it up. You get it a lot. So this is a loaded question for you. And it is a question that gets asked too much. And I actually get not irritated when I'm asked because it's just too hard to answer. But what's your favorite fish?
Sid.
Huh?
Sid Vicious, my electric blue Acara. I have 4 of them, but he is by far the most full of personality, pain in the butt, spoiled brat in the group. I mean, I'm serious. When I feed him, I have to put my hand in the tank with food in it and hold it out for him to swim in and eat out of my hand. Now, once I do that, he will eat whatever I put in the tank.
My dog start barking. I might have to mute. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No worries.
Panera Bread's delivering food. If he doesn't ring the doorbell, we're good. Fuck.
Should I juggle or something? I said, should I juggle or something? At least it's not our dog.
I'm not saying you won't hear this, the occasional wolf still.
Well, it's better than my dog doing it, so.
Dang dog. Every time the wind blows. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, but they definitely let you know when something's around.
Right.
Yes, sir, P-Tag, and I know Price Tag, one of my favorite content creators as well. Razin says, yes, Shirley, you say you will be consolidating your fish. I guarantee you'll add more fish to those tanks. That's true.
I did not say I wasn't doing that.
240, I call him 240 because he has one single 240-gallon aquarium, but he did an absolute. You ever seen Shamu? You ever go check his video?
Yes.
His tank is amazing. He did a wonderful job on that thing. It's beautiful. It's pristine. And the
Gorgeous.
he put in there, he did a really good job. I just call him 240 because I'm
Yeah.
jealous. I wouldn't mind having one.
We're always fighting over who gets to have the fish first. He got those Congo tetras.
Yeah.
After I was already saying that I wanted some stinking Congo tetras. And he had the Denison barbs and was telling me, oh, you should get them. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should. I'm getting the 125 up, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes and gets my Congo tetras. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I love his tank. It looks great. And Razin, you're 100% right there. She'll be putting more in.
Yeah, I will.
Hydroponics says, my biggest is a 50, and someday I'd like another, but for now I'm good with 150, 133, 220s, 210s, and a 114 gallon. That's an odd gallon.
Maybe it's 114 gallon, which would be odd anyway.
I know there's 120s.
Yeah, I'm not sure if mine's 120 or 125. I can't remember what the measurement.
Well, 120. So they market it. So here's the thing about aquariums. If you didn't know it, when they market these things, 125 gallon aquarium, right? Well, it's not actually going to hold 125 gallons of water.
Right.
When they market these things, they measure the outside dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually measure the inside dimensions, taking away the thickness of the glass and everything, you're not getting 125 gallons of water. Then when you add your sand, your rocks, decor, and everything else you put in it, that takes more space up. So
right.
I figure, and why it's important to understand this is because when you have to dose medications or anything, you need to know exactly, not exactly, but close to how many gallons of water you actually have. So with all my 125s that I have, anytime I'm dosing something, I just go by 100 gallons and I knock 25 off because I got thick sand in there, a lot of plants, minus in the thickness of the glass all around.
Yeah.
Whatever size rocks you might put in there, driftwood. I just dose per 100 gallons.
Right.
That way I know that I'm not dosing too much. And if it's too less, it ain't by far.
Right.
I don't know what the actual measurement would be. You know what I need is like a laser. Maybe they got a tool that you can fire in a tank for water and it'll tell you exactly how much water volume you have.
Wouldn't that be nice? Can you imagine someone would make a killing off of that? I mean, like, because I can see like getting the inner dimensions and putting them in one of those calculators and it's showing you how many gallons that you would be able to do with the inner dimensions. But how would you like subtract the gallons for? I mean, you would have to measure each little amount and do the math. And I'm not bad at math. In high school, I aced math, and in college, I aced math. But my brain does not work like that now. So, like, I guess a lot.
I'm terrible, man. I can add, subtract, multiply, divide, do just a little bit of fractions. Why am I an asshole? Who's you talking to? What you talking about, Tommy?
Who's talking about your dog barking?
Oh, I thought I said the F word. 14 gallon. Oh, 1/4. But still, 14 gallon. Like,
well, I've got a 4 gallon.
Why didn't we just round it up to 15? I think it was homemade, and I think I got an aquarium society. Okay, but that's cool, man. I appreciate you sharing all the tanks that you have. Janice is in. Wow, that's crazy.
Hi, Janice.
You. I got to have you up here more often than Janice can come in.
Yeah, right. I'm just that good, I guess.
Yeah. My aquarium wall got only 224 gallons, still 6 tanks to set up. Wow. Some of these guys are crazy. Math runs in eyes on Google. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Hey, Google, that's 32 times 64.
I'm surprised my phone didn't answer you. Every time you say anything with the word Google, it's just like, hey, what's up?
Oh, he was talking. Yeah, he was talking about Shamu taking my fish ideas. What a pleasant surprise. We're caught up in chat. So when you set that 125 up, you said you're going to put your tetras and consolidating what? 3 tanks to it?
Well, I've got, if you don't include, it's just 2 tanks unless you include the 2, not on my computer, unless you include the 2, I guess it's 4. There's 2 quarantine tanks. My dog's trying to sit on my computer. Um, I've got 2 quarantine tanks that's got glassfish, tetras, and corridors, 2 types of corridors in it. And then I've got my 2 55 gallons, and one has my electric blue cars in it. Well, okay, I lied. I have 6 tanks that are going to be consolidated because I wasn't thinking about the fact that I took Sid out of the original 55 and I took my smallest one, Gidget, out of it and put her in another tank too. And so I've got electric blue cars in 3 tanks.
Okay.
Because the 55 is way too small for them. It wasn't when I put them in there, and I planned on the 125 being up sooner. So, but they're getting cramped and crowded in there, and so they chase each other so much. And so I separated them for the time being. And so I've got the electric blue cars, and as long as the tetras and the corridors in my cursed 55 get over their epistolus, I'm going to move them in too. And I've also got a Pandagara, some bristlenose plecos, queen loaches. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm planning on putting them all. I've got 3 different kinds of tetras, or well, actually, technically 2 different kinds of tetras and 2 different kinds of corridors in there. So they're all going to be in the 125.
So you won't have no more. It sounds like it's going to be pretty packed.
Yeah, probably. And that is unless I decide not to put the tetras in there because they're coming from that cursed tank, and it seems like they're not exactly living the dream and being, I'm afraid they're going to bring the luck with them. So
Yeah.
the last thing I would kill if my electric blue cars came down with something, like
Right.
I would really be upset. That might be something that made me go, forget this whole thing.
Yeah. We don't want that.
No.
No, P-Tag, I let that was just a 7-day free trial. I did not continue on that. I'm fine with the way it is. I don't think it looks bad, my video quality, the way it is. StreamYard wants like $49 a month so you can record. You get more features, but basically the main feature is you can record in 1080p. I'm not paying them that kind of money for 1080.
1 second, I got to yell at my dog.
All good. You can mute yourself.
My apologies. He crawled up here and he was trying to lay on. He's a 75-pound pit bull, and he was trying to crawl and lay in my lap with the computer, and like he just kept inching and inching. So,
yep, they always try to injure themselves their bodies where the worst times.
I'm not telling you, Shamu. I saw that comment.
What did he say?
He told me, tell me what other fish you're planning to get that I don't have. I'm not telling him. Let's just go out and get him for his overpack 240.
Trigger says, can anyone tell with MTS how many fish they got? I can't count mine all. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Especially if you count that some of mine are fry tanks and they have, quite a few fry in them. So
yeah, and that's the thing that you got to account for. Just like these Mbunas behind me, I started with 10, and now I swear to God, I got 60, 70 of them in there, and they're in a 75-gallon aquarium. I plan on moving them to a 125 when it becomes available, but they're just going to do the same thing in there. So ultimately, what I need to do is get some out of there. I took 14 of them to my local fish store and only got $7.50 for 14. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
I'd rather give them away or sell them on the face somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of any of them. I love them, and they're really creating some different colored ones there. But I wish I could find the female and get her out of there.
Is that what's causing aggression or something?
No, it's just that she keeps having babies.
Oh, yeah, that's never good.
And I can't sex them. I even asked Corey at Aquarium Co-op, how do you sex an Mbuna? His reply was, good luck.
That's kind of the way it is with these electric blue cars too.
Yeah, well, they tell you the males and the males are the colorful ones. The females aren't as colorful, but they can be colorful too. Look at their dummy eggs. Oh, but wait, they both can have dummy eggs. Well, look at the crowns. Oh, but wait, they can look similar. All you can really do is look at their private parts, rather the pistols or whatever they call them. It's right. One's blunt and one's pointy, I think. But you tell me how you get one of them crazy bastards to hold still long enough.
That's the way the cars are too.
Yeah, and it's full of Texas Holy Rock. So if I reach in there and try to grab it, there's no way.
No.
So it's hard. And I find I have the same issue with my angelfish. I can't tell which one's which. So let me get caught up a little bit here. I had yellow labs where the female looks exactly P-tag. It's hard to tell. When they got a mouthful of egg, yeah, that's right. When they look like squirrels is about the only way. Venting the I can't do it. I can't get a hold of them. I don't even know what I'm doing. If I got the fish in my hand, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, me either.
What is this? What do you mean vent? Do I pull it open and go?
Hi, Mel. Hi, Talisa. Did I say that right?
Talisa, yeah,
Talisa.
she's a natural fish keeper. Loves the sand cap dirted tanks, and she's got a lot of good things.
I've watched some of her videos. When she subscribed to me, I was like, ah.
Yeah, yeah, I love the cichlids too. I love my cichlids for sure. I agree with you. And them Mbunas, they're like rabbits, man. Freaking, I like to say it like snails for our little fish keeping.
Let's not talk about snails.
It's good to see you, Talisa. Someone else say angelfishes. Mel says my calico koi sword fry are getting so big and fast. Very nice, Mel. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I hit something. Well, I lost that. There we go. My friend 75-gallon crashed. His sister sprayed perfume in the tank. Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
They call it venting the size of the fish's anal hole and sex hole size. So I'm assuming males are going to be bigger than the females, right? Or no? Or were you talking about their buttholes?
It might take him a minute to type all that out. I mean, I've seen it done, but I don't like. I've done it with chickens, but that's about as far as I've gotten. So
different shape usually, I guess. This is my favorite show. Hey, Danny Gomez, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in.
You know, it's his favorite because I'm here.
Appreciate you. Probably. It's the first time I've ever had anybody say that, so you tell me.
Oh, wow. So I feel special. Look at me go. Roar.
So what is your dream fish?
That's hard because honestly, my dream fish was an electric blue acara, and I flipped out when I actually got them. I got it within months of deciding that was the fish I wanted, and I really haven't, like, I want this fish and that fish, all for different reasons. Maybe it would be one or two probably right now, either a Fundulopanchex jojetti, also known as a blue galaris, or I can't pronounce the first part of it. Aphysium, yeah, something like that. Volcanum, which is a volcano killifish. Those two right there are the ones that I'm searching for high and low, and I'm having a really hard time finding. So those probably would really make my day if I could find them. Some of them.
Get with I'm not sure, but Jim here. There, I got my feedback again. Jim over here, Happy Place Aquatics. He has over 100 electric blue acara.
Oh, I don't want that many.
Like 150 or something, and he's trying to get rid of them. Some of them.
I actually got mine for $5 a piece.
Okay, very good. Not bad at all.
Yeah, they were like this big. They were literally like an inch big. Yeah.
He's got a ton of fish, and you might want to, if you don't, do you know Jim at Happy Place Aquatics?
I think I've said hi, but I haven't really had much of a conversation.
If you can't, are you subbed to him?
I think so. If he's on your Discord, then I tried to go through and sub to everybody on there, so I should be.
Okay, he's got a lot of fish. He's one of the ones that has I don't know, 50 tanks. he's trying to downsize, but he's trying to get rid of a smaller one and go to all big. He's got plans. Lots of fish, and they're just spanking out babies left and right. Jim, what he did? Man, this thing is so squishy. Hey, Big Steve. Coming in, sir. Big Steve. He's talking about fish buckets. Yes, I did. I can't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll read that right there. Oh, Achilles fan. I like Achilles. They're a pretty.
Oh,
fish.
Silver Creek, definitely.
Is this a piece of
Apparently not.
my streams would not be PG because that's just the kind of person I am. I swear a lot. I'm very translucent. However, I have to be careful with what's said, especially once you get monetized, because if one, they're either going to give me a strike or they're going to demonetize me or whatever. So yes, I've got to keep it on the down low a little bit. This isn't Rumble. This isn't what's the other one that you're more free to speak on? Twitter. They don't care about that stuff. Twitch is a little bit more loose. You can swear all you want, but on here you got to watch your P's and Q's. Tommy knows that. He said something when someone's got it shut down one time.
Oh, wow.
57 tanks in total.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad about, all my tanks in my tiny little apartment now.
And that's filling up probably his entire basement.
I can imagine.
Which makes me miss having a basement. I'm going to give you, Tommy, you're in the Discord. You can DM her privately.
Yeah, just send me a DM in Discord.
And you guys can chat and make plans. That's what's nice about it, buddy.
Heck yeah. I mean, yeah, I might get some killies. That's probably a bad idea because that means more tanks, but.
Golden Wonder Killies. So there's some
Golden Wonders are pretty.
Gabriel and Dean were on top of the stop signs earlier.
Right. Hey, I'm good at those when I pay attention.
Yeah. Yes, you do. You are good at those. Yeah, maybe I've seen him say this before. I like it.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, I told my daughter about the 125 getting put up, and she was like, I don't know if I can do that. Water changes on that. I was like, we'll get a pump and, hook a hose to it. Don't worry. It's not going to be that big of a deal. She's like, okay.
Jesus, no.
Oh, dog groomer. That makes sense.
Twitter allows people to read blurs. So yeah, I only use Twitch and Twitter to stream to, and I just switch on and off between them. Facebook and YouTube is always the constant. My Golden Wonder Killies are straight sharks. Yeah,
they can be quite like that.
I do trick. I just call them trigger. If there's a mod in here, Shrimple's done it many times. Share my Discord link, but if you go to my channel trigger, I have it listed on my channel. You can just tap it; it'll bring you right in. And then if you do come over, when you get on there, make sure you copy and paste your channel link before you get into the Discord. You're going to find a channel on the left-hand side that's for YouTube channels only, and that's where you're going to post your channel so everybody can sub to you, because that's one of the reasons I do the Discord, to help support each other as well. Only buckets for the 125. Ooh.
Oh, no. My daughter would murder me in my sleep. Like, actually, she'd probably wake me up to do it so I know what was going on.
I am. You're right. I did nickname her so people knew she was a moderator, but you just have to look at her channel icon. It's the same over there, but she is labeled a moderator. I should probably fix that. I every moderator I nicknamed a moderator, so now your name doesn't come up. Moderator comes up.
I was wondering why I did that. I thought my computer was being stupid. Thanks for that.
Well, I wanted everybody to know who the mods were, but I think what I'll do is I'll go back and take that off so everybody can see your name still.
Yeah, because you can't tell which moderator's doing what unless you click on the name and it puts the name in your chat.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think you can just tap on their name, or once you get to know your channel icons, like I know a lot of you guys from your channel icons, like Shrimple. She's a moderator, but I can tell it's her because of the shrimp. But I'll tap on your name right now. See, so here's Newburn in here. See, see, that still would be confusing. Yeah, I'll change that. But you're where are you at? Where were we talking? Over here. Boom, boom. Yeah, it's just a picture of you. So.
Oh yeah.
So you can tell Tommy who she is because her icon is her picture of her face.
It's a picture of me bald because that might be different. I shaved my head when my mom had cancer, so I think that's on a lot of my things is made a picture of me bald.
I got you. Very cool. Uh-oh. Oh boy.
You're getting behind again.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about this.
Uh-oh. What?
What's up, Garcia? Do you need something, maybe?
No, I'm just gonna say hi.
Okay, go ahead.
I
Okay, was it good?
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you, Garcia. Just mess around. Always good to see you, buddy. Mel, you want to be a mod? We'll make you a mod. I have to do it on the YouTube side, though. That's another reason why I like to keep my separate device. Where are we at? Boom. So tell us while I'm doing this, maybe you can tell us like so different things that you've experienced so you've been keeping fish a bit over a year. This is a question I meant to ask, but I got off track. How much do you feel you have learned in the year or so that you've been keeping fish? Things that if you would have known, you would have changed.
Oh, I mean, first thing I would have done is the curse tank is the curse tank because even though I stocked it with seeded media and everything was fine and I had perfect parameters for the first couple of months, I stocked it like all at once. Well, not all at once. Like I put a group of 6 fish in at first, and then I put another group of, I think it was 6 fish in, which would have been fine, but then I threw in a group of like 23 fish.
Yeah.
And it worked out just fine for a while, but then I noticed, I would add 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 there. And so overstocking when I wasn't prepared, it can be done if you know what you're doing and you're looking into it, or you've got all your P's and Q's lined up. But if you don't know what you're getting into, seriously, stock lightly and stock a little at a time, because I firmly believe that the fact that I'm having so much trouble with this tank is because I overstock it without knowing how to do it properly. And my filtration, it just isn't up to par for what I need. But being on a budget I can't go out and buy $200, $300, $400 canister filter. I can't, so I would have, one of the biggest things I probably would have done is considering I have plenty of filtration in it, but they're sponge filters. So I think I would have been better off in a hob, but I would have been better off had I stocked it lightly a little at a time and then stopped when I noticed it being kind of crowded, and they were all doing good and they were all not fighting and everything seemed fine. But then I started having a little bit of this and a little bit of that, some cloudy water, it just kind of slowly ramped up to now I'm having issue with diseases and stuff. Even though half my fish are gone out of it, I'm still having those problems. And I honestly feel it was because I didn't do it the right way in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just had a comment today on that one short I put out. Someone, there's always got to be one of them. These tanks look overstocked. I said, no, but there is one that's overstocked, and it's the Mbuna tank. But I had to continue to say, I already have plans for that. If you watch my channel, you watch my content, you'll know that I preach not to overstock. But you can overstock if you take the right necessary steps to do it. Now, is it still an awesome life for the fish, being crowded with a bunch of other fish? Some species like that.
Right.
Some don't. But it's a great way to reduce aggression. But I
but
had,
that's
I had to add a secondary filter and with the FX4 on here because it was starting to get murky and it couldn't keep
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Because
that's what mine does.
there's a fine line, but you are right. It can be done. If I think KG Tropical said at one time, you can keep as many fish as you want in the tank as long as you're willing to do water changes every day.
Right, and they do that for African cichlids, I think, right? They overstock to reduce aggression and stuff.
That's what
So-
they say, yeah.
So I mean, it obviously can be done because if you've ever seen an African cichlid tank, they're generally pristine, crystal clear, or at least the ones I've seen are. So I mean, obviously they're doing something right. It can be done somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys get along. I really haven't had a lot of aggression with these guys, even when I only had 10. Now, there was aggression. I'm not going to say there wasn't.
Right.
But as they get more and they got more, it got even less. But I have a whole bunch of Texas Holy Rock in there. They all have a place to call their own. I've created more places to call their own. I even threw in some water sprite to float to break line sights. And
Right.
some of them love to even get in the water sprite and hang out in there and just float with it. You know? Gives them something to discover. But I am
Right.
going to become a bigger tank. I love the Mbunas. It's a fish that I will always keep. So I would rather just take what I got and put it in a bigger aquarium.
Yeah, I at one point thought about Mbunas, but I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm ready to deal with the aggression. But then I got the electric blue cards before I knew that they were cichlids. I did not know they were cichlids. And because I was always scared of cichlids, I was like, no, I'm not doing cichlids. I just can't handle that. But then I got these guys, and everybody's like, oh, they're so peaceful. They're so peaceful. And granted, they are, but they're also like a curious pack of wild freaking dogs. I put a fish in there, and they'll chase it, but they won't chase it like aggressively. They'll rush up to it, and then if it stays still, they'll sit there and just kind of look and go around it. But if it moves, they chase it.
Yeah.
They will do that until they figure out what it is, and then they'll leave it alone. They don't give a flying, you know what. So,
yeah.
But like I put a small Pandagara in there, and they chased it into some rocks, and then they surrounded the rocks, and I was like, oh great, this is not going to work. But then they just Sid, my biggest one, kind of chased them off a little bit. He's like, all right, that's enough, and they just went about their business, and he's doing great in there. So
that must be your tank. That's a good tank.
Yeah, he's like 4 inches. And compared to the other ones being, 3 and 2 inches. So, yeah, and I got them all at the same time. They were from the same tank litter,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. My old water change method was my old 135 gallon fill large plastic totes and walk back and forth 30 times. Good exercise, Shamu, but that's for the birds. I use a pump. I drain all my tanks with a pump, and I only use my Python to fill now. Garcia says hello, Janice. Hello, Dean saying hello. We got Jim back here. So I'm going to add 2 more tanks this weekend. Oh my God.
No.
Well, you can't do that, Jim. You need to add 3 and make it an even Steven 60.
Oh yeah, you can't. No, 59 is not a good number. No,
Who does that?
Right?
Who does that, Jim?
You got to add 3 more anyway, because 57 isn't a good number either.
No.
So either stop at 55 or go all the way to 60. There's no in between.
Yeah. #3, Jim. Get with it. If the pumps, I use the water treatment start working. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Lowe's and got one of them 800 GPH pond pumps, and that's what I use. I pump it right out the window. Then I just go around and I just fill all mine up with my Python.
That's what I'm getting when I get my 125 up.
Much faster. Just get a pump right out the window. You're done. And like who said it earlier? I meant to read that about watering his plants. Hydroponics. He uses his old tank water for my plants, and we do the same thing here. The one's not stuck in the aquarium. Best food, plant food ever. Yeah, but that's what I do. We got jugs here I use for my wife's plants.
Mm-hmm.
And where all my water drains outside, it's going right into the bushes. So
we drain ours into the yard, and my landlord was like, he's like, I wonder why your lawn's so green. I was like, I don't know, because he's not really in on the whole tank thing. So I was like, I don't really know. Maybe we just keep better light or something.
If you go out there while it's raining, was that me?
What, the shaky? Sorry, my computer's on my lap.
Yeah, Mike, I'm having feedback.
Oh.
If you go out there while it's raining and put your thumb over the end, it'll like squirt it out, and you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter does that all the time.
We read that one. Dean on top of the stop signs. Happy Place says, so I'm going to add 2 more tanks this weekend. No, he's going to do 3 now. I use for 1 water changes. Yeah, we'll stop working. Evening, ABVD. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. Tommy says, Silver Tom is, yeah, Tommy Silver Tom over there. Did you message her, Tommy?
I think he said he sent me a friend request.
Okay. In case anyone wants to join us, thank you, P-Tag, for adding that in there. Yeah. Come on over. What a good time. I'm trying to grow that as big as I can get it. Lots of people in there.
I try to help, but I'm so like helpless when it comes to that. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like part of like 6 communities and I still don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay. You'll learn as you go. It's not a big deal. I'm figuring things out, new things on myself. I boosted the server. I added some cool emojis and stuff just to make it a little bit more fun. I added that birthday bot. Anybody that goes to Discord, if you hit /B in the chat, it should bring up this pink bot where you can enter your birthday. And so every year it'll automatically announce your birthday in the Discord app.
Oh, I didn't know what it did. I just saw you saying, put your birthday in. So I was like, all right. And I put mine in. I was like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
No, you got to figure it out. And I think it's a neat little feature. Jim, if you look what we were saying, 57 and 59 is an odd number. So we don't know who does that. You need to go ahead and make hashtag 3 aquariums and make it an even Steven 60.
Or, 12 and make it an even Steven, Or 13 and make it an even Steven 70. You could do that.
Good Lord. That's nothing. Them garden eaters. I think they keep mostly shrimp, but they have like 400 and some aquariums full of shrimp.
Oh my God. Like they have to. I don't see how anyone with like more than 20 tanks doesn't have automatic water change systems or stuff like that. I don't know how they could do that.
Mm-hmm. They probably got stuff like that going over there. They've been doing it a long time. They sold shrimp to NASA, right?
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, they're doing well. P-Tag, exactly. It almost seems like it is a comfort zone because I got a ton of them in here and I rarely have issues, and it does. They enjoy it and like it.
Well, it's kind of how they live naturally anyway, isn't it? Yeah.
Hanging out at the rocks. The rock, well, Boona means rock dweller. Peaceful, yeah.
Yeah.
Carrying buckets help me become Chief Beefcake.
Oh, you better not tell Dan that.
Yeah. Electric pumps with 25-foot hose, same shampoo. Is it that black ribbed hose? That's what I got. Oops. I also used old milk jugs. You got it, man. Me too. I got old gallon jugs and old, Simply, a Simply limeade drink bottles. I got a bunch of those. Yeah, you need 69 tanks. Talisa says same shampoo. I love my electric. You get caught up here. I try to keep my water clean. We got to get back to Shirley here. Bad feedback. You hear that?
Oh, I don't mind the lack of attention. I'm good.
Okay. All right, John. Coming in and out.
Dan knows.
So I don't know how long you wanted to go live for. I generally go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours.
I'm not in any hurry, so okay. I don't have much of a life beyond my fish. So even my daughter's like, I know I'm replaceable. Just don't hurt the fish.
Yeah. Am I? Is this your first live stream?
Yes, it is.
I like hearing that because I was Juanita's. Juanita?
No.
Dixon Designs?
No, I don't think so.
I was her first live stream.
Oh, wow.
I believe Talisa, I was her first live stream.
Oh, well, then you've got good luck being a first live stream then. Woo, I'm going to become YouTube famous. What did I tell you?
Yeah. It seems like I'm everybody's first.
Oh, wow. That's kind of scary. You better watch it.
But it's very cool. They're either vinyl or silicone. You're right. Same material. Right. Mine's like that black rib crap. It's the same stuff you get for ponds at like Rose or whatever. So you into the sand cap dirty tanks, the more natural methods, the father fish tanks, or
It's not okay. It's not honestly. I did a dirty tank because I can't afford to do root tabs. I can't afford to do special substrate. I can't afford it. So it was like I can do that and have plants. Then heck yeah, I'm gonna do that. I mean, I went straight for it and put it down, put the soil down, put the sand over it, and my tank looked gorgeous for so long. And then I started having the issues, you know, and treating it with this and the snails eating it and all this stuff. And now it looks, I'm just ashamed to even look at it anymore. It's just, it's horrible. But my other dirty tanks, that's what I do because I can't afford the special substrate and I can't afford to be buying root tabs all the time. I might be able to buy them here and there, but I don't know if that's something I could consistently do. And there's no point in having plants if you can't, you know, make sure that they stay growing. It would really suck for me to buy them, go through all those root tabs or whatever I get to help to make them grow, and then for a month or two I can't get them, so my plants die.
yeah,
You know, it doesn't make sense. So I thought the dirty tank seemed not only more natural, but it also seemed more economical.
yeah.
So I was able. It allowed me to be able to have planted tanks. That's, I mean, 100% honesty. I didn't even know really what the Wallstead method was or anything like that until, you know, I had just seen a couple of videos on doing dirty tanks and how they're good for plants. And I was like, let's do this. I went straight for it.
It's absolutely anything that 10 gallons up to. I would have no problem making a big tank, even 125 gallon, a dirty sand cap tank. But the problem is I keep fish that dig too much.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. My 125 is just going to be sand because my Acaras, they dig holes all the way to the glass.
Yep.
So,
Yep. But
and I can't do a lot of tanks because they pull them up.
exactly. For these cichlids, they're just diggers. And
Yeah.
there's two different ones. You can have diggers and sifters, right? I got them both. But anything that's going to be 10 gallons up to, say, I would say 30 gallons, because 55 gallons and up, I'm going to have bigger fish. More than likely, they're going to dig. I will do nothing other than a dirted sand cap tank from here on out because of everything you just said. And it's so much. I got 1, 2, 3 of them here now. And you never have to do anything but top offs. And they're fine.
My 4 gallon.
5 ppm.
My 4-gallon shrimp tank is a dirty tank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one I did on my budget video, that's a dirty tank. And it's only 4 gallons. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 dirty tanks so far.
Okay.
The rest of them are either fry tanks or, you know, what do you call them? Quarantine tanks or hospital tanks. So
I call them
digger tanks.
I call them QT tanks, but the one I'm using right now is a QT tank for that battered angelfish. I'm calling it like a vacation tank. But it's weird because as of today, that angelfish just keeps making circles around that tank.
Maybe it's getting restless.
He's getting around a lot better now.
Yeah.
But I feel like, is there something wrong? Is he bored? Now he's not pacing.
Yeah.
The parameters are good, but it's like he just keeps constantly making circles around the tank, and I feel like, is there something wrong? I'm watching him right now.
I mean, he may just be very well bored.
Yeah, I want to get him back in the tank, but I'm afraid he's going to get bullied again.
Yeah.
Especially, I think they say after a couple of weeks, a fish forgets their place or fish forget, and he'll be like a new guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could always do what I do sometimes when I get bully fish. You can take everybody else out. You redo the tank and throw them in one at a time with the one that's the weakest or being the bullied the most. Put them in first, wait a little while, put the, and then put the bully in. And that it doesn't always work, but it seems to at least curb it a little bit.
So you're basically talking about is just fresh slate.
Yeah. I mean, you don't take up the substrate and the plants and stuff, but move your rock work or your hard work, hardscape.
work too.
Yeah, move all that stuff around to make like a different aquascape or whatever you want to call it with it. And then it just gives them something. They go in and they're like, oh, this is totally different.
Okay.
And so then putting the weakest one in first gives him a chance to establish a little bit of territory and establish it as his place more. And the bully comes in and is like, oh, this isn't my place, and it doesn't always work long term, but it does help for a while, at least in my experience.
It's worth a shot. I just don't know where I put those other ones in the meantime.
I just put mine in extra tanks and tubs and stuff because I didn't leave them out for more than a couple hours. I may, depending on how many fish you got, I only waited like an hour or two between putting them in. Which I will tell you, the longer you can leave them out, the better.
Okay.
But I only waited an hour or two between adding the new fish back in.
Okay. Maybe I got them two blood. Well, see, the only one bothering me is the angelfish. The blood parrots don't mess with it. Now that dang blood parrot over there is always messing with that big flipper of mine. So much he's rubbed his nose raw.
Oh no! I thought about getting a blood parrot to teach my Sid a lesson about how he's such a jerk sometimes, but then I thought, I don't know, it'd be my luck. Sid would probably whoop his butt. So,
They got attitude, that's for sure, but I really enjoy it. You stick your hand in and they come up.
Yeah.
It just feels like hard rubber, like sock rubber.
Well, when Sid bites, which is very few and far between, when he gets your hand by accident when he's eating, he hurts. They got pharyngeals, whatever you call those teeth in their throat. They've got those too. So when they bite, it doesn't feel too good.
Yeah. Let me see here. Hydroponics says I recently changed from cats to videos to cat videos to We're very cool. Appreciate having you. If no one's subbed, Hydroponic, you're in the Discord. So make sure if you haven't already, you share your link in that YouTube channel so everyone can sub to you as well. And someone can share his link on here as well if you can. Nice hydro. So I'm wanting to pull some You have to be careful if Tommy is still in here, or maybe even Shirley could give you some advice on that. I have never tried that.
Okay, when you pull plants out of a dirty tank, do not pull them all the way. Pull them up and trim the roots off. That's literally the only way you're going to do it without making a mess.
Especially now because they trace off the other ones.
Yes, and their roots go deep. So especially Amazon swords, you pull them out just past the root, like where they start, and then trim along there. Just leave enough roots to get them started again, because otherwise you're going to make a mess. There's no way to get around it. You have to pull them up, trim them.
Oh, pull them up, cut them off, and remove the roots behind. Is what you're saying.
You pull them up just enough and then cut them and leave the bottom, the rest of the roots in the substrate.
That's a good idea. Plus, those will break down and become nutrients.
Very much so.
Sharon says, I'm watching in chat. He's at work. Just getting interrupted a lot. It's all right, man. I appreciate you just chatting when you can and listening. I appreciate you.
Nobody needs to hear from you anyway, Shamu. No, I'm just kidding.
Who? Are you asking me, Trigger, or are you asking Shirley? Because I do not breed fish. I just get lucky sometimes.
I do some. So far I've bred cories, albino corridoras, and plecos, and killifish so far. But I've stopped breeding the plecos because nobody really cares about them around here because they're so abundant. And the cories, my cories are in the curse tank. My breeding group of cories is in the curse tank, so they haven't been breeding for a while because of the epistolis and stuff going on. And then my killies, my main breeding pair, jumped out of the tank and to their demise. And then I had a group of 6 juveniles that had just started spawning, and 4 of them, jumped out of the damn tank.
Fun.
Don't know what's happening, but
You gotta get them glass tops on you.
Yeah. I actually have some. I use polycarbonate and make lids out of it, but apparently there was a hole where the wires came out, and they got through it somehow. Don't ask me how, because it's a freaking tiny hole, and I didn't think they could get through it. So
yeah. Yeah, you've been definitely going through some rough times. I happen to know that because of Discord. But a lot of these guys coming in here wouldn't know. But if they come over to Discord, they can see that story.
Oh yeah, they can see my soap opera with fish, my fish opera, if you will.
Yeah. Shamu, you're making me laugh at that. That's funny, man. Even the typos added to it.
Right? I was just thinking the same thing.
Dean says, "Oh, the love stream. Ooh, the love stream."
Well, we feel the love. We feel the love.
Gabriel says, "I don't want to do my first stream until I get my fish room." But I understand that, Gabriel. We'll definitely look forward to that. And
Yes, definitely.
just make sure that you schedule it out. Hey, Jeff came in. Good to see you, Jeff came. Trigger says, "Hey, Jeff, thanks, Shamu. Long way to go. Boom, boom, boom." Will do. Just getting started with it, but lots of cat videos. It's all right. You
Nothing
can add
wrong with
that in. Add it in, man. Do both. Mix it together.
And you have catfish.
Catfish.
Sorry, I have stupid all the time.
You're clever.
Oh, I know, right?
So, I always have everything I want to say, but as we get started and get off track, I always forget some of the stuff I want to ask. I see we got a lot of people coming into the Discord now, and that's cool.
Hi, Kristen. Sorry, that's my friend Kristen. She's amazing.
Oh, very cool.
That's my girl right there.
I'm trying to see.
She has axles.
Axle
Actually, I
oil?
got some of my first. Yeah, I actually got some of my first fish from her because she decided to focus on her axes, and I got my breeding plecos I got from her, my breeding cories I got from her, and my Colombian tetras I got from her. But they weren't doing the cories and the plecos weren't doing anything because she had bought what she thought was a breeding pair, and they turned out to be 2 females. So I threw them in my male, and they started immediately. And then the cories my cories that I had were not breeding at all until I got her 2 cories and put them in with mine, and then they went nuts.
Yeah.
She's kind of the reason why I started breeding in the first place.
Well, that's kind of cool, though. And she's got the axolotls, too.
Yeah, she's got beautiful. She's got a new one that I call RuPaul because she hasn't named it yet, and it's purple, and it's real dainty. So and we don't know if it's a male or a female, so I call him RuPaul.
I got you on that. That is one. It's not really a fish. It's a lizard or a lizard, right? They're not really a fish. They're actually a lizard.
Right.
But very cool, very cute, and I wouldn't mind having one.
Oh, if I didn't have so many tanks that need my attention, I would definitely go for one because they are freaking adorable. But they require a lot of attention, and a lot of they need a lot of that attention and care, extra care.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about one.
Plus, you have to have stuff like chillers and stuff, and those are not cheap. So they're kind of out of my budget right now. Kind of like saltwater tanks.
So you want to know how to make a DIY chiller?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Get on the Facebook Market site and find yourself one of the mini fridges.
Okay, those are all over.
Okay, get one of those, and then you go out. Now, the longer the better here, but if you can get like a 50-foot garden hose, keep it coiled up.
Okay.
Don't unravel it. You're going to put that in the mini fridge, right?
Okay.
Then you're just going to hook up a pump. You don't have to drill holes in your aquarium or nothing. Just like a canister filter, you can just hang like a hose or make a PVC where you connect the hose.
Yeah.
So the pump is going to pull water out of the aquarium. You're going to hook it up to the hose. The water is going to go in the hose, and it's going to coil.
Oh, it chills it.
Yep. The longer it stays in the fridge, the better. So the longer the hose, the better, and then you just return it back to your tank.
You hear that, Kristen? I may be coming for those axes. Yeah, that's a really good idea. And it would, if I can get to that time frame, that would be a good DIY project for my channel too. So.
Yep. Yep. That's a DIY chiller right there. What are you hooking me up with?
Yeah,
Oh.
what are you coming up with?
Salamander. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was either. I just knew it wasn't a fish.
Will do, Dean. My wife, I'll let you know if she loves them axolotls. She thinks they're really cute, and they are the way they just.
Yeah. Oh, it's Christens are so cute. Most of them go after the food like a voracious, shark or something. But then she's got the new one, the one I call RuPaul. It's so dainty. Like she'll just barely take the food and just, eat it. It's so cute. It's adorable.
Yeah, I like them. Did you ever have you ever watched Taylor? How's her say? Nicole Taylor or Taylor Nicole Dean? You ever seen her channel? She was doing
I
it.
don't. I don't know. I don't think so.
She does fish, axolotls, everything, snakes, you name it. She's not as active now as she used to be. I even messaged her not long ago trying to see if she wanted to come up on a live stream. Of course, she didn't get back, but you're talking about a woman that has millions of followers.
Yeah.
She kind of got out of it. She don't do it as much, but she had some axolotls, and she has a cool channel over there. But I believe she was battling with addiction, and she did overcome it, but she's just kind of got
That's
out.
rough.
Look her up. Her name's Taylor Nicole Dean or something like that.
Okay.
She has a lot of cool content on there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm always looking for new content and new people to follow and stuff, especially fish related. I don't really watch anything other than the fish related stuff on YouTube because I have this weird idea that it's going to mess up the algorithm so bad that I won't be able to watch my fish stuff anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm old. It happens. But, but yeah, I actually, until fish, I never even watched YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't I knew what YouTube was, obviously. My daughter's a YouTube fanatic, but I was like, she would put a video on YouTube. I was like, just turn that off. I don't want to watch it. And then when I got into fish and started looking up all that information, I just become entrenched in YouTube with the fish stuff.
Very cool. So what made you, how do you feel that now that you've been doing the YouTube channel, as you discussed, how do you feel it's helped you with fish keeping?
Well, first of all, you have to, well, I guess you don't have to know what you're talking about because people get on there all the time and they don't know jack. But that was me. But you kind of have to, if you want a content that's educational and helpful, you have to kind of know what you're talking about. So it's helped me like look into stuff. It also helps me to do it for other people because I feel like when I'm teaching other people, I'm learning more myself because I'll come across something. I'm like, oh, well, this is the way I've been doing it. And then, oh, crap, it's not working this way. Let's do something else. It makes you look at it from all points of view, from all sides. And so it gives you a different perspective and allows you to learn things you necessarily wouldn't have learned if you hadn't been trying to pass that information along.
Yeah. As I call it, you could become a more well-rounded fish keeper. Heck, I had a guy on one of my videos praising me. He said to me, I thought I knew everything. And it was so easy, something that most people know. I said how you can clean that hard calcium buildup on your glass tops using a 50-50 mix of water and vinegar.
Yeah.
Most people know that. But there's always somebody out there that didn't. And he couldn't thank me enough because he tried it. And he said, dude, I was replacing glass tops yearly. But because of you, I can clean them now. I'm like,
nice. Way to
go. I love getting those comments. But, it's like, oh, my God, you didn't know that? But, I think as time goes on with us that we're so saturated in the hobby and we do the research and we're on everybody's live stream and we're learning so much, all this stuff is like second nature to us, but we forget there's somebody out there that didn't know that,
Right. It seems like common knowledge. And then like you were saying, it's awesome because then you get those people on there saying, well, I didn't know that. And you think, oh God, there was a time I didn't know that either.
Right.
And then you're thankful that you put that information out there that somebody was able to see and it helped them.
Yeah. So, I think it becomes you a well-rounded fish keeper no matter who you are. So what's your favorite size aquarium? What's your favorite footprint?
Okay. So far, there's two, and one is the 20 long. I love it. I think, honestly, in my opinion, that is the best size for beginner tank. A 20 long. 20 talls are okay, but a 20 long to me is perfect size to start with. It gives you more options. You've got good footprint. It's not so big it's intimidating. It's a really good tank. And then you've got the 40 breeder.
Yeah, those are
that's my second favorite. Yeah, so for the small ones, I would say a 20 long. For the big-ish, because I haven't had the biggest ones yet, I would say a 40 breeder. I also haven't had a 75, which I've been told is like a 40 breeder but bigger. So I'm not really sure about those. If I were to ever have a 75, I may change my mind. But so far, it's a 20 long and a 40 breeder.
Same. 20 long is one of my favorite tanks. And at the end of the day, if I ever got sick of keeping big fish, I wouldn't mind a room full of racks of 20-gallon longs, all ran by sponge filters, dirted sandcap tanks.
Right.
I love the footprint. My favorite would probably be the 125.
Well, I'm getting there. I'll be able to experience that pretty soon. So.
Pure and Triple made it in. Good to see you. And Austin made it in. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, she right here. Basically, as a 55, you get 6 more inches of depth with a 70.
Right. Which is, why I think I might like that a little bit more, because I love my 55s. They're big, but I always didn't like the fact they were so narrow. And had I known that when Petco had its sale, I might have got a 75 instead of a 55.
Yep, a lot of people hate. I think Dan's one of them that hates the 55. I could be wrong on that, but someone said I'm never buying another one. 55-gallon tank back here was my very first aquarium, and
that was my first dirted.
Yeah, I love the 55, but I do hate how narrow it is.
Yeah,
you still got a 4-foot tank,
right?
You still got a foot. What is it? 12 inches, and you still got 20 some inches. It's still a nice sized aquarium, but if I was going to buy one between the two, I'd go with 75 just because you got more room.
Yeah, my second 55 was actually free, so I really couldn't complain about that one. But yeah, had I known the difference in the 75, honestly, I didn't know what the different sizes of tanks mattered like that. I didn't know they had wider ones, and I thought all aquariums were similarly the same. If they get bigger, they get wider and longer, wider and longer. Well, I didn't realize that a 75 was the same except wider, or I would have gotten that one instead of the 55.
Yeah. But then Tommy does stuff like this. His favorite scaping footprint is a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. He says it's a 120-gallon tank. But then he has Reef 120. So what's the difference between a Reef 120 and a regular 120-gallon fish tank? Because my 125 is, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's 4 foot. Never mind. I'm confused. Because it's taller than it is longer.
Right.
Not it's longer than it is taller, but he has more height with that aquarium.
Right.
40 breeder, Rasin. I'd say Rasin, and I think it's raisins.
Probably.
We're gonna talk. Coming up on my live stream next. Stephen P made it in. We appreciate you dropping in. Good to see you, my friend. It's a giant 40 breeder.
The 70 or the 40 or 120. I don't know why I can't get it out.
Yes, a 55 is 12 inches deep and a 75 is 18. Yep.
It's wider too, though, right?
You get. So I call it depth.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. When I think depth, I think like down into something.
It's apples to oranges. But it could be, maybe your way is depth. So I guess the best way to put it, so we don't have confusion, is what you already said, front to back. You get 6 inches more front to back with a 75.
Okay, I'm probably the one in the wrong here, considering I know a lot less about aquariums than you guys do. So I'm deferring to the experts.
Nah, I mean, it's all about.
Well, more expert. How about that?
At the end of the day, no matter what order you put the measurements in, the measurement is still the same measurement no matter which way you slice it.
Very true.
Shimmer says 129 perfect. You got the length, and the tank isn't too tall or wide reach. Yeah, 125 is one of my favorite aquariums. First of all, it opens you up for a little bit more options. My dream tank would be anywhere from 3 to 500 gallon. and it's going to come one way or the other. I see them on the Facebook market site all the time. It's just, do I want to drop $3 to $5 grand?
Yeah, that would be a problem too for me.
And then you get people that come in here, and I can't remember who it was, got free ones. Oh, I got a free 500 gallon. Wow, it must be freaking nice.
My 125 and stand were free.
Oh, see, that's sweet.
Yeah, the woman who gave it to me was like, "Do you want a 75-gallon tank?" I was like, and at the time, my biggest one was the 255s I had, and I didn't have any other tanks like I do now. And I was like, sure, I'll go. I'll come look at it. Well, it was half covered in a tarp, so I didn't see how big it was, and I wouldn't have known had I seen it anyway. And she had it out in the yard on a stand, and I was like, sure, I'll take it, but I don't think it'll fit in my car. She goes, I'll bring it to you. I've got sons; they can help me carry it. I was like, all right, that's fine. The next day she comes up rolling up in my apartment, and they come put like these three guys. Two of them were just young guys, and the other one was like an older guy, and they were carrying the damn thing, and it was so big. I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna do that? We measured it. It was 125. I was like, holy crap. Like, I was freaking out. So so I got a two for free. So
And 125 is basically a 75 footprint. You just get 2 more feet in length.
right.
Every 50, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have mine, and it came with them old school wrought iron stands. And if I'm cleaning the glass, that thing's doing this number.
Well, see, I've got mine on the cinder block stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it with cinder blocks and plywood.
Yeah. So yours is nice and sturdy.
Oh yeah, it isn't going anywhere.
I build all my own stands. If I move that one, I'll probably build my own stand for it, because I hate the wrought iron stands are strong and they definitely look nice, but you do get a lot of this.
A little wobbly, yeah.
What I'm telling you, you'll never get the look of depth like you do in one of those. I'll take your word for that, Tommy. I don't really aquascape. I don't. I'm one of them people, like, if you walk out of your house back when I lived in PA and you had a yard and it was just snowed and it's a beautiful, pristine, unbothered snow, I have to go out there and F it up.
I was that way too. Like to look at it for a few minutes and then boom, it's gone. Yeah, I like to play at aquascaping. I like to make pretty little, little pictures and stuff, but I'm by no means an aquascaper. So
yeah. I keep fish, and the fish I keep, they're going to usually mess it up. I had this Oscar tank looking pretty nice, but they said, no, we don't want this. My 240 is those 4x2 by 2 120s. And what's cool about the 240 is it looks massively long.
Yes, it does.
Size matters for you.
It does, Janice. It does.
Regular 120 foot. This is 4. Right, I got you, Tony. Funny, he says I built a stand for my 55 18 inches wide because of the at Shamrock Parks. I built the stand for my 55 18-inch wide because of that. Okay, because of the wobbling. Shirley, do you have duckweed in killifish tank? I heard rainbows or jumpers too, but the top is clogged except for one spot where I feed them, and it's covered with a clear acrylic panel.
I do. Well, now the ones that the Achilles are in do not have duckweed, but the one that was in did have duckweed. But what it was, I'd used some plastic egg crate for lids, and I'd cut it to fit, and it was perfect, right down in there. But the little holes, the tiny little holes, they were so tiny. I was like, surely there's no way for them to get out, and they had to have gotten through one of those holes that way. So, and the first time when my breeding pair of Achilles jumped out, I had a good lid on it, but when we fed, it accidentally got left off. A few hours later, boom, there they were. So the Achilles were on the floor. So
crazy.
Yeah.
But I always think about every time I think of Achilles, I think of those red ones. They're the ones that stick in my mind.
Oh, the Nothobranchius, Egger Sea or Egersai. I really don't know how to pronounce that one, but if I'm not mistaken, those are the red ones in their annuals. They're the ones. I don't know if you know the difference, but there's three, I believe, classifications. There's annuals, semi-annuals, and non-annuals. And the annuals are the ones that die within, I believe it's anywhere from 3 to 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And the semi-annuals, okay, don't quote me on this. Semi-annuals can live anywhere from a year to 2 to 3 years, and then the non-annuals can live 3 to 5. But that's in the wild. That's in the wild.
I'm quoting you on this.
Well, now you've got it recorded, so I mean, I guess I can't say I didn't say it. But it's said that in the aquarium they can actually live a bit longer because the reason they die so quickly is because their seasons dry up and they're stuck in mud and they don't have water. So that's why they die so early, and they've just evolved to where they have that lifespan. But in the aquarium, in ideal conditions, they can live longer.
That's the thing I don't like about it. That's one of the things I research. Like, I don't want to fish. I like my fish to live as long as possible. And they are, but it's just such short span. It's like.
But the annuals are so beautiful. I mean, they're all so beautiful. But and one of my favorite things is their colors are actually, if I'm not mistaken, they're all pretty much from the wild. They're not messed with. They're not man-made. The colors you see, those bright, pretty colors, are all how they're caught in the wild.
Okay. Yeah, there's no dying. There's none of that crap.
Yeah.
Raise it. Stephen Plea is playing expert. Both of your stream appearances yesterday were nice. Did you have fun? It looked like you were enjoying yourself. I'm not in Missouri, and I do not call people unless there's emergencies. Talking. Let me get caught up. He went with a 55 because of shipping. My trigger says I have a 6 times 55 gallons and 3 times 25 gallons in my aquarium. Very cool. I'm still a couple years new to the hobby.
Man, all you guys have got me beat. Like, I've been here for like a year, and I'm look at me. I know what I'm talking about.
Did you grow pothos out of your aquarium, Shirley?
Yeah, actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 or 7 different types of plants growing out of my aquariums. So, especially out of my 255 gallons. Although I had like 10 or 12 until my Icaras decided to yank them through the lid. And yeah, I even had a bonsai growing in my aquarium, a willow bonsai, and they yanked it through, tore all the leaves off the damn thing, and it rotted in my water. I was so aggravated. And it had to have been Sid. It had to have been him because I saw him messing with it. So I told you, he's a brat.
Yeah. I tried spider plants. That didn't work out. I had a peace lily. It didn't work out. But recently I put 2 more peace lilies in separate tanks, and they're doing really good along with my pothos. And I got the different pothos going as well. What I want to get is some ferns. I guess you can grow ferns out of your aquariums, and I want to get a big monstera.
Oh yeah, that was another one that Sid pulled through. I had a really pretty monstera with the holes in leaves and everything, and nope, gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dean doesn't. Not a fan of the 110 because it's so deep, setting them up to pain. Where are all these people in my area giving away free tanks? But if you want to use dirty 10 gallon for $100, yeah, that sounds right. You got it.
Here they generally go for about $1 a gallon. So.
Lush and salty. Imagine if you're in an earthquake country. My biggest fear. Yeah, I've thought about that before. Lush and salty, like June over there. California seems to get frequent amounts of earthquakes. Don't they get a frequent earthquakes over there?
Yes, in certain parts, yeah. My dad used to live in Southern California. He would get them quite frequently.
That's always been like, man,
I used to live in tornado country, and I would much rather live in tornado country than earthquake country because, it's one thing when the wind is against you, but it's another when the whole freaking earth is moving.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Come on.
It is. You're right. It's tectonic plates shifting like this,
Yep.
So it's like,
It's like, where do you hide from that?
right, can't go. Don't go to the basement.
Do not. No, that's a bad idea. Because Jana's on the stop sign.
On the stop sign. We like big tanks, and we cannot lie. CMP, you want a 40-gallon acrylic with a built-in sump on the back? Come get it. You just have to go to Texas. It's grass. Shirley, biggest.
Oh yeah, that's how I. Yep. That's how I ended up with all these tanks because I started with the 5.5, upgraded to 20, put the 5.5 back up, and then got the 55, took down the 20, put the 20 back up. Yeah, yep. That is true. I concur.
When they're sitting there empty, it's hard not to. I could do something really cool with that.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
I'm just setting it up as a quarantine tank, babe.
Yeah, it's just a quarantine tank, and then the fish come out of quarantine. You're like, I could do something really nice. That would be really nice as a blah 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 blah.
She goes to the store and comes back, and it's set up and cycled.
See, that's why I'm glad I'm single, man. Because let me tell you something. When people tell me I can't do something, that's the first thing I stinking do. I will tell you, you can't go here, you can't do that. Watch me get my car in there and go.
Exactly. I got you on that. The whole idea of Achilles came from the rain season in Africa.
That makes sense.
Is that why they call them Achilles? Because they don't die so fast?
No, Achilles actually either Dutch or Danish word for like small body of water. That's what it's like a. I can't remember the exact definition of it, but it basically means like a small body of water in either Dutch or, well, that'd be the same thing, Danish. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't actually mean anything about killing. So.
Hey, Tommy said it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the eggs can survive months of dry weather, which is why they generally pack them in peat or coconut coir and let them sit for weeks, and then they flood them with water and they hatch.
Okay. Not die. Yeah. I'm going for size from now on. Yeah.
That's always a good principle.
That's something he said. That's something Jim said. He's getting rid of all his tanks and going to the big ones, but I believe him. I know he's going to do it. If you want to have a fish that's getting older than a few years, clownfish are getting up to. I'd love a clown. Are you talking about saltwater though?
Yeah, I couldn't afford to even look at a saltwater fish. I'd get my whole paycheck taken away from me, and then I'd be in trouble. And then they'd be like, "You still can't have it."
Yeah, that's what clown trigger does. Is pretty much, I think, all salt.
I mean, I wouldn't mind dabbling in salt water. I think it would be fun, but there's no way I can afford that kind of thing.
No, they are expensive. Coral's expensive. Dry rock's expensive. And
right.
Keeping the water salty.
Right. Don't you have to like always use RO water to do that stuff anyway? I mean, I don't know.
If it was me, I'd be chlorinating my tap water and adding salt.
Yes, exactly. That's what I would have to do because I would have no other choice.
Well, there is, and I think it was Tommy or Clown Trigger, one of these guys, I can't remember, told me about it. What you can do is go get those RV filters, and they have carbon blocks in them, and you can put them in line with your tap water, and it's a cheaper way to dechlorinate, get all the chlorine out.
Yeah.
You don't even have to use product.
Nice.
They've tested it, and it does work.
Oh, wow. That's something definitely to consider.
I want to do it if I can stop using product.
I started using Safe instead of like Prime because Safe is made for like ponds and stuff, but it's basically Prime concentrated into more. Like I think 1/4 of a teaspoon does like 300 gallons or something.
Of what?
Seacom Safe stuff. It's it does the chlorine, chloramines, ammonia, nitrites, all that
that's,
stuff.
that's what Jim uses. I've always used mine, but he has a lot more tanks than me, so it makes sense because it goes longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff's considering starting a water change in one of the large tub pond thingies.
Do it, do it, do it.
Hydroponics got spider plants in his. Works great for one near the window, but others didn't thrive. I also have pothos, Hoya, ivy, and now a piece of monstera I put in today. I heard ferns do well. I want to try ferns because they're cheap, and they look pretty nice. Excuse me.
I started mine because I thought since my Akara tank has to be so bare of plants, I thought it would be nice to have a jungle on top. Well, they're not letting that happen either. So,
Jerk.
right.
Sorry, I was grooming my last dog for the day. I am back. Good to see you back now. Welcome back, Carter. My fish I have are going to outgrow most of the tanks I have in them, so it's time to upgrade. Nothing smaller than a 55. I think it's Boss Aquatics who has a crap ton of 55 that he set up on the old cinder block board. If you don't watch Boss Aquatics, his entire basement's full, and that's how I think he has a lot of 55 gallons. Well, 55 gallons are nice because they're everywhere, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
Sure, there's 4 freshwater tanks. Okay.
Yeah, but how many saltwaters do you that have? I mean, that's the telling part.
I watched his live. So he's got a really cool setup. I can't remember the gallons of it, but it's large. It's like 300 gallon.
Yeah, see, I would consider that more of a saltwater guy than
Oh, he's
like
knowledgeable.
with freshwater.
Yeah, he's got and he can pretty much answer any saltwater question. Very knowledgeable.
I would believe that.
Waiting until 8 to mow the yard, laying in the dark with a fan, really enjoying this moment. Oh, I can understand that, Austin. I like.
Oh, I do not miss southern weather. I do not miss that at all.
Yeah, I think it hit 97 degrees here today. It was hot.
The highest it's been here so far has been, I think, 85.
Okay.
And that was just 2 days in a row. So.
And we're out there. Well, I'm out there in a black uniform too.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
In this heat wave, my tanks have been running 81 to 82 day and night, and it's been crazy. Yeah, it's been hot. So what do you have anything else that you can share with us that maybe you have coming down the line, or maybe you can't share with us because you're turning it into a video, but anything special, anything new, anything?
I know I just posted a video about the slaying the Hydra today. But other than that, the only real thing I've got, I'm sure you remember me talking about my bucket filtration that I was working on to maybe you don't, but I talked about it a lot in Dan's live. Putting my 255s together, bridging them together, and doing one filtration, home DIY filtration.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm working on that again. The person that had helped me build it in the first place kind of did a janky job on it.
Yeah.
And so instead of, and I can't really salvage the pieces because they're PVC glued together, so you can't really salvage them. So I'm gonna have to start all over that project. But that I'm planning on starting on, and the 125 getting up. I think I'm gonna do a little bit with that, but. Other than that, I'm open to ideas. I just try to catch things as they go and, show what I've got going on as they happen.
So, I don't know. I think I'm having feedback issues. So it's driving me nuts. So you can do basically like an overhead sump. And I've seen Joey. I don't know if you've watched him.
Oh, I've watched tons of them. Yeah.
He literally took like one of those like window mounted flower. You seen that one?
Yeah, I've got a playlist of overhead sumps, DIY overhead sumps.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing something like that?
Yeah, I have. It's a matter of finding a way to put it above the tank without it looking, janky. Because since I'm doing everything DIY, I can't really, it doesn't look as pretty as if you could blow some money on it, that kind of thing. So I have to figure out how to do it without making it look like what it is.
Yeah. Well, according to him, you can get those ones off Temu now, and he said that that's cheaper than he can build DIY.
I really gotta check out this Temu because I've seen it, I've looked at it, but I've never actually bought anything from it. So I'm gonna have to check it out.
And of course, he's more commercialized, but he's now sponsored by them, I think, and he buys a lot of stuff, but you can't beat it. It comes with everything you need, and it's decent, and it works. So he's fell in love with Temu. I mean, they got LED lights on there for like $5. Come on.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure how well they worked, so I didn't. But I mean, everybody's saying that I watched a ton of videos about Temu shopping trips for fish and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that might really work with the whole budget concept, It's Temu,
Where else are you going to find an LED light for $5? I mean, those over the head filters that he got on Temu, they were cheaper at the time, but he might still have a discount link up you can take advantage of to even get some
right.
more.
I'll definitely check it out because I watch him sometimes too. I put in the search bar what subject I'm looking for, and I go down the line and pick the videos, that look most informative, and that's how I make the decision to watch a video. So,
the Hagen Hill design?
I think so.
They bought one of those Temu, the same filter he did.
And wow.
Marine tanks aren't that complicated, depending on what you want to keep with clownfish. Kept normal tank with filter for freshwater. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
You still got to keep that water salty.
Right.
You got to have that hydrometer to make sure it matches the salinity of the ocean or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know how to work those.
He says, those RP filters only last a few months. A 16-ounce bottle probably lasts longer. Absolutely, D. I did realize that. I just think some people are more about natural than adding chemicals in the aquarium, so that's why they choose to go that route, which I get both sides of it, but I've been using primes for years. I have had no side effects. My fish are happy and healthy, doing really good.
I have accidentally overdosed the safe, like way more than you're supposed to. Never had a problem.
Yeah, and they even tell you to triple dose if you need to.
Yeah.
What is she saying over here? I don't mind it. Build. Oh, she made a video. Okay. Blasphemy. Jim has 3 saltwater tanks. I don't know if I knew that. I don't have my 300 anymore. Oh, no.
That's sad.
You got to get it back. Hydroponics, so you thought he'd like to dabble in a brackish water, but not sure if that's my happy zone.
I mean, I had a brine shrimp tank. Does that count?
Maybe. When we're talking brackish, right? What are we talking about? We're getting lots of tannins in there, right? We're getting dark.
Well, honestly, I hatched my brine shrimp, poured the water into a mix of the same. No, get down. Sorry, get down.
Right.
Anyway, had to pour the same type of salinity water in the tank, and then poured the brine shrimp in, and then fed them occasionally and left them. That's literally all I did. Now, granted, they eventually died, but that's because I left the window open and they got too cold.
Well, what are we? When we're talking about this tank, what exactly all does that entail? What is considered an actual brackish tank? That's my question. I just thought it was dark brown water with tannins and
I thought it was a black water tank.
Is that what it is?
Black water is the dark one with the tannins, and a brackish is where it's part salty, part freshwater.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not quite salty.
Beta is like brackish. Really?
No,
wow.
Beta is like black water.
Black water. Okay.
Black water is just like it sounds. It's dark, really super dark tannin-filled waters.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Pawnee driftwood. I could put like 20 gallon. That would freaking make that thing like peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
You know you love your fish when you run the AC for them, and you cook them, and damn it, for them, not you, and cook for them, never. I'm confused by that.
Well, my
Is that
fish get cool secondarily because I can't stand the heat either.
yeah, yeah. They're second. You're first. 85 today. We had a few 90s. Yeah, it's been hot. We need some rain. Our grass is dying. I got a new tank. I got a new tank that I like LFS would have. Yeah, it sounds like it. Raw, Shirley, when's the next live? Gabriel wants to know.
Me? I've never done a live. I don't even like. I've got like 36 subscribers. Who wants to watch me get on there and blab? Nobody cares.
We'll come over.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do one, and you guys could all come over and chat together, and we could just sit and chat like we do in Dan's live or whatever. Although I don't have all the big ponds to fall in or nothing like that. So
that's what it's all about. That's what we got to do. We'll come
all
over.
right, I'll think about it. All right.
Just schedule it. Well, how I did it when I was making mine is I cross-reference. I looked at my YouTube analytics and I seen when my viewers were on the most. I had to correlate that, and then I went over to the Fish Fan link calendar because I didn't want to overlap with anybody, and I seen what slots were available. So that's when I made them. But I also had to correlate that with my work schedule. So
Right.
It's a fine-tuning type of thing.
I'm kind of lucky in that way. The only thing I have to correlate with is doctor's appointments and my kids' doctor's appointments and the fish. That's pretty much it. So.
All right, Shannon. See you later, buddy. Be safe.
I probably should at some point get off here too, so I can make dinner.
Yeah, I usually go 2 hours. If you can drop off whenever you need to, I certainly appreciate having you up and chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit more. And
Same, it was nice getting to know you guys too.
Yeah, and hopefully you got some more subs from it. And
woohoo!
That's what we try to do here. So if you need to go, by all means, you just let me know. You go over whenever you feel like it. Don't feel pressure to stay. You got something going on.
All right. Well, I can stay a little bit longer, but I probably take off in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down at the 2 hour mark with about 8 minutes left.
Oh well, then I can stick around then.
Okay, that'll be good. So what do I want to ask you before you have to leave? Mel would show up.
Woo! There we got Mel.
Mel, I just went 3 years and then tried to get me to rebook for 6 weeks. They must have talked about something else. I was cut. My shoulders are frozen and I can't take care of long. Where I got you, Juanita. Yeah, where she lives is cold. Why isn't that coming up? Oh. It would be nice if you could raid people's streams like they do on Twitch. They raid on Twitch. I don't know nothing about that. I stream.
I don't really know on Twitch either.
So yeah. So what time frame are we looking at for you're going to get that 125 set up?
Well, I've got to have it in the house and no later than Friday. So hopefully I can get enough people to help me lift it and put it on there. So yeah, in a couple of days. And then it's just a matter of getting the funds to get. I'm supposed to be getting 2 Fluval 407s that somebody's giving me. Yes, I'm lucky.
That's one of my favorite canister filters. I got.
You are not the only person that has told me that, seriously. But I have never had a canister filter before, so this will be my first one. But I really wanted something like that for my 125. And so when he said that he was doing a different project and he didn't need them anymore, I was like, over here. And so he's supposed to be bringing me those in the next couple of weeks. Until then, I'm going to take all the filters out of the tanks that I'm going to be taking down and put them in the 125 until I can get the fluvals. So I'm hoping actually within the next 2 to 3 weeks of having it cleaned up and ready to get put up.
Okay. But you got to have it in your house in 2 days.
I have to, or else I'm not having it at all.
You're right. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah,
I love
I love the Fluval 306 before that. I still have one. It never wants to leave. That 407, I love the FX series canister filters. I have 3 FX6s and 2 FX4s.
Yeah.
But I just love the simplicity of the 407, and they'll do just as much gallons per hour as an FX2 would.
Yeah.
The only
I heard
thing
that they were real good.
the FX2 is you got a lot more area in there that hold a lot more media, and it's obviously going to give you a little bit more water volume for your aquarium as
Right.
well. But as far as the GPH and how much they move water, they're pretty similar.
Right. And I mean, at some point, extra media is not going to do you much good anyway, because there's only so much bacteria you're going to be producing. So, I mean, some of that's just wasted space anyway.
Yep. I mean, it's only gonna build to the size of the load it has to deal with in the tank.
Exactly.
what's
As far
nice
as its
about
food
it-
can go.
What's nice about the 407s, they're skinny and they're slim. I was able to put two 10-gallon aquariums under my 50-gallon aquarium and still get that damn 407 in between the 10s.
Nice. Nice.
So they're a lot more manageable.
Yeah. So probably in about, I'm hoping the goal is 3 weeks. That is my goal.
You went from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Now, what are you
I said
saying?
2 to 3 weeks initially. That's what I said. You've got it on record. Just rewind.
Well, I like quicker, so I'm going to actually go to 2.
Well, that's my hope, but my goal of no later than 3 weeks. That's my goal.
Okay. Jeff has a question for you.
What is Shirley? Moneyless Maven Aquatics. I had to remember if there was a D on there or not, but it's Moneyless Maven Aquatics.
I knew it was, but the way that you put it just flows. If we have a moderator in here, which we do, and Juanita, maybe you can, or Mel, share her channel in the chat, please.
I think somebody did. Yeah, Pure and Shrimple. Thank you, Shrimple.
She's quick. She's quick. And she's my top chatter in Discord. Me and her gab like little girls all day long over there.
Any advice on getting a big, like a 125 setup?
Yes. What kind of substrate are you going to use?
I plan on just the Black Diamond blasting sand because I'm going to have my cars in it and they dig. So.
Yes. Yeah, either that or pool filter sand. Do not buy the sand from the store. One, it's too expensive. Two, it's too light. If you're going to have filters in there, you need a sand that's heavier. And the Black Diamond sandblast sand, the pool filter sand is perfect. It's heavier. It doesn't plume up in the water column. And is easier. Easy. Therefore, you will probably be okay and not even have to put a pre-filter on your inlets.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be nice. But I have the other cars. So. Sorry, I was just going to say I have the cars, so I'm putting black sand so their colors pop.
Oh yeah, absolutely, great idea. And they're a little bit of sifters, I think, aren't they?
They're like what?
Aren't they? Don't they sift the sand a bit?
Yeah, they're the reason why I'm only doing sand because they sift and dig. Well, they mostly dig whenever they're breeding and spawning and stuff, and when they're trying to make territory. I don't really think they actually sift too much, but they do a little because I've seen Sid with sand coming out of his gills, so I know they do some.
Right. If they can handle it, one of my favorite things to do with my 125s, I do it with all my aquariums, but it works for the 125s. I get a power head on one side, the same side the inlet or your filter's on. So the flow goes this way and it comes back and everything to the inlet.
Okay, question.
I rarely have to suck anything out because of it.
2 filters. Should I put one on each end or should I put them both on the same side?
That's debatable. If it was me, that's debatable. All which is really its preference. If it was me, I would probably put the inlets together, spread apart a little bit. Outlets on one side so I can keep that flow because it keeps the tank clean.
Right, and I have 2 wave makers or whatever you call them too. So I was planning on putting them in too, and I'm not sure how to because I need to place the canisters in one way and then place the power heads strategically or the wave makers strategically so they're doing their job. But I'm never dealt with this before, so I'm not really sure how to do that. I've watched like 60,000 videos, but I'm still going, oh my God, what do I do?
It's preference.
It'll be a lot of trial and error.
I do it so the system keeps the tank as clean as possible by itself, so I have less work to do.
Right.
I'm about efficiency on my channel and cost saving and tips and tricks to make it easier, not a chore. So when you have that power head on the same side as the filter inlet, it comes over, the flow brings it right back to the inlet.
Right.
So if I was going to have two, which I only put one, I have one FX6 on this 125. Before that, I was running it with one FX4 and it did great. You don't have to over filter ridiculously.
So I don't need both 407s
You
on
know,
the 125?
you can, but if it was me on a 125, I wouldn't be scared to put the both of them on there.
Yeah.
But if you want to run both of them, but you could start with one and see with the power head if it's plenty.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah, because I was thinking that if I kept the one or both of the 55s up, it would be nice to have a canister for one of them too, at least until I can make my DIY if I ever get a chance to. I'm gonna have to start over with the budget with that too, so that's hard money to eat. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just try it one and see how it goes. If you find that you're getting a murky, cloudy tank and everything's staying at the bottom,
Throw the other one on.
maybe adjust the power head a little bit. I always adjust them up at the surface to break the tension and bring that flow down to the inlet.
Right. That's how I've got it on my 55.
What size power head is it? Is it how many GPH? Is it one of the ones?
I think one of them is like 550 and the other one or something like that, because I knew that it was supposed to do like 10 times the amount of or whatever. So at least that's what I thought I read. So that one of them is over 500 and the other one I think is around 6 or 7.
Yeah, it'll work. I would just stuff out because, like we discussed earlier, it's not going to give you any more additional bacteria for it to grow. But what it will do is help turn your water over more and keep it cleaner. So
right, that mechanical filtration.
Right. So you could start off with one and see how it goes.
Right.
I have never ran a 125 with a 407. They've always had either an FX4 or an FX6.
Okay.
Now I do think that the flow rate on the output is higher on the FX series. They're a little stronger, but I don't. They're very. You're gonna have more strength and more power and more turnover rate with your FX series. But those little 407s, I forget what they're good for, but they're very comparable to that new FX2.
Well, I'll have to keep that. Like I said, I've never done canister filters. I literally have barely done hob filters. Pretty much every tank that I've got is sponge filters of various sizes and really heavy duty air pumps.
How do you clean your filter media?
I get it out and I swish it under the water until it's not running black anymore.
Under the tap water?
Yes, I do. Never had a single spike from it. And it makes sense because I've watched, read a few different articles and watched a few different videos that showed like studies that it would take hours and severely hot water to kill enough of that bacteria to cause a problem. So,
did you watch that video from Prime Time?
Yes, he was the first one I watched actually, and he's the one that made me be like, I think I should look this up a little bit more. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I got like see, like I will use tap water for the trays, the sponges, but I refuse. I can't bring myself to clean my biomedia off. And Patty's Aquatics, he cleans his biomedia off and everything with it, never has a problem. But I just can't. I can't bring myself to wash my biomedia with it.
Well, there is no shame in being extra careful. There's no problem with it. It doesn't matter. There's no problem with being extra careful.
Yeah. But I do everything else, and there's no better way to clean a sponge filter. It's faster, it's quicker, it gets it cleaner.
Right.
So, but
it definitely works.
But what's your light schedule? I can guarantee it will get an algae for it. See, the thing is, Tommy, I never see algae on the black diamond sandblast sand, maybe because of the color, but I do see it on the pool filter. Do you need to go?
No, I was just gonna say, sorry, I got a little, I'm gonna brag a little bit here. I think because of the algae eaters I've chosen, I never see algae, period. Like I worry that my algae eaters, and I leave my lights on like 16 hours a day.
Wow.
And I like most of them are fry tanks and stuff. So the ones even that are planted, they're all filled with like I've got plecos and pandagaras and meteorites and stuff like that in it. So it's like I worry that they're gonna starve because there's no algae anywhere. I say that and watch me have like 6 algae blooms.
Right. See, I leave my lights on for 12 hours a day and I start getting algae. So I had to get around and adjust all my lights down to like 10 to 9 hours a day. And since I've done that, I've had a lot less problems. I don't have too many cleanup crews anymore. I used to have a bunch of quick cats. I do got a lot of shrimp. When these blue shrimp I just got start reproducing, I'm going to start putting shrimp in tanks everywhere. Obviously, we don't want to put it in the Oscar tank.
Yeah, even my little 4-gallon that I've had it set up about 3 months now, or give or take, and I didn't have anything in it except for one ram's horn snail to cycle it, and I had nothing in it, and I still couldn't get algae to build up in it. And I literally put my lights on when I get up around 6 in the morning, and then when I go to bed around 11, 12, whenever I decide to go to bed, that's when I remember to turn the lights off. I had used to on a timer, but then I would get mad that I couldn't see my fish, so now I just turn them off whenever I feel like it. Not an issue. I don't know why, and I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth because I'll probably wake up with algae blooms tomorrow. But so far, that's the one thing I've been lucky in.
Next we're gonna be walking across the video holding a water changer and a UV.
My next video.
Jeff, yeah, I gotta get everybody else's Discord link. Because what's cool about Discord is because if you can get into other people's channels, they're all listed right over here, so you can really easy go to. I'm on Father Fishes, so you just go one tap, boom, 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 go into everybody's Discord and chat.
Nice.
So I got to get into everybody else's too.
I've got to figure out Discord.
It's Now let's talk about my magic spoon. We can't talk about the magic red spoon now. We don't.
Now I want to know what. Well, I want to be in Fight Club. What?
You ever heard? We don't talk about Bruno. No.
Yes, of course.
We don't talk about the magic red spoon.
Oh.
That's super secret crypto clearance stuff, Mel. You're about to get arrested.
I'm feeling left out over here.
I'll explain on Discord.
I'm just teasing.
My last live was about my magic red. I have a tool in my picture that cures every disease. It dissolves any kind of salt, regardless of what kind it is, and it's a tool. It's like a multi-tool for fish keeping, and you can't just get them anywhere.
Okay, yeah, you definitely have to tell me a little bit more of that when you get the chance. Let a girl in on the secret. Come on now.
If anybody else wants to see it, you have to watch that live stream I did I think it was Saturday. When would I do that? That's what the magic red spoon. I'd get it for you, but it's dark right now. It won't show its beautiful appearance. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I got the cure to everything here. All your tanks are dirty with tin cap. You gave plenty of bacteria in the tank. Anyway, my Father fish tank is not cycling. It is not cycling. I've additionally put a whole established filter on that aquarium, and it still won't freaking cycle.
Oh wow! I wonder what the problem is.
So, one of the selling features of Father fish tank is a special super secret magic dirt. It's got all kind of bacteria and different things in it.
Yeah.
It should be moist. Tommy figured it out when I did that live stream. It was dirt. It was dry. And I think all the bacteria died. So I'm basically starting with a new aquarium.
Oh.
Bi-ammonium nitrite for weeks since I set it up.
Right.
I put bacteria. I put bio rings in it and put up just a couple days ago. Put a whole freaking filter on there, and it still won't move.
Oh
and
wow.
Stability. Every day with the stability. I'm doing this with the stability every day. It doesn't go anywhere.
Have you tried? I've heard people who've had problems getting stability to work for them have tried the Fritz one.
With what?
They said it was the Fritz. I think it's called Fritz Zyme 700 or something like that.
They're the same thing.
Well, see, I wasn't sure. I just know that the people that I talked to had said they didn't do well with stability, and then they tried that, and it was better. I haven't tried it personally because it's too expensive. I don't even really buy bacteria anymore.
Yeah,
It's just
you don't need it once you have a tank. I keep
No.
it around, but I actually was able to ask the president owner of Fritz on KG's Tropicals live stream. I said, "What's the difference? How is your product better than Seachem's?" His reply was, "We both have scientists. We've both been around a long time. We both have knowledge. They both do the same things.
Right.
They're both the same thing."
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally not surprised by that, honestly.
Really, it is. And there's different labels, different recipes, slightly different recipes. At the end of the day, it's the same dang thing. Now,
Yeah.
there are companies out there that get it better. I would say Seachem and Fritz is top of the line.
Right.
I would put maybe API next. Maybe there's some other I don't know about though.
Yeah, because the quick start's actually pretty good. That's what I started with, and I
Yeah.
had the most luck with that than I have anything. So
The Tetra. Are you talking about the Tetra? It comes in the yellow bottle. Tetra Safe Starter.
no, the API quick start.
Okay. I've had some good luck with the Tetra Safe Start years ago.
I mean, I might have used that at one point too. I don't know. I used so many different types that when they were on sale or when I could afford this, I would grab this. But yeah, the ones that I've stuck with mostly is CM and API.
Yeah, that's me too. Well, it sounded like something kind of spooky, creepy. Yeah, so I think it's a good time. I can't get okay. I think this is a good stopping point. I think you got to go. I got to go. As we're over the 2 hour mark, we're slowly losing.
Oh wow, we are. That went quick.
Yeah, real fast when you're having fun.
A lot better than I was expecting.
Appreciate you doing this. We're going to schedule Raising to get up here next. So be safe. Have a good rest of your week. I hope you have a good and safe weekend, and I hope things get sorted out for you. Thanks again for coming up. You're awesome.
Thank you. And everybody have a great day. Enjoy your fish while you can.
So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, Fish Peeps, thanks a lot. I'm also going to throw the members video I created up here one more time in honor. I am going to have to change this because I received 2 or 3 more memberships on the stream. Can't thank you guys enough. Bigger the channel gets, the better it gets for you and me. Remember that. So here is the honoring my current members. New members, if you're still on here, don't be offended. I have to edit this video and get you added in. And that's it. Like I said, I will add my new members into that. You will be recognized, and look forward to some higher value gifts coming your guys' way. Who, if you became a member, you read all about that. Yep, I talked about that, Juanita. I did mention that. Juanita was your first, and several. P-Tag, Shirley now. I can't think of it all. But that's it. I appreciate you guys' support. You're the best. Thank you for helping me get to where I am. None of this means anything. It's not for learning about you guys and supporting you guys and helping you guys and sharing each other's thoughts. If it wasn't for you, none of this. There's no reason to do any of this. So it's all about you guys. And you can best believe I got some cool things coming your way when I get them up at. So thanks again. We'll see you on the next live stream. I cannot do Saturday's live stream because I got some stuff going on this weekend. So there will be no Saturday morning hour power live stream. Thank you, Pure and Trimple. Thank you, Juanita. Thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to all the people that come in. All you legends. We will see you on the flip side.